Power is a strange currency. It doesn't need a gun when it already owns your secrets. On this lonely sliver of Caribbean rock, a disgraced math teacher built a pleasure palace, then wired it like a CIA safe house, every chandelier hiding a lens.
The FBI drilled Epstein's safe after he was arrested, and they took out anywhere from hundreds to thousands of DVDs.
They are videos that exist.
I was trafficked to other billionaires, politicians, professors, even royalty.
2 decades later, he's dead. The tapes are missing, and the internet is stuck on all the wrong things.
I've tried not to focus on whether or not Epstein killed himself. I think that's kind of a red herring.
Today we ask a different question. Who built Jeffrey Epstein? And why was he worth protecting at all costs?
앱스타인이 무엇을 했는지는 이제 다 알려졌습니다. 오늘은 다른 걸 묻겠습니다. 대체 누가 이 남자를 설계했을까요?
My take on it instantly was this is not an actual human. Someone has created a fake human being called Jeffrey Epstein.
Which leads to the real question. Who supplied the parts? Hold that thought for a minute. We'll come back to it once we see the bigger picture, and there is a bigger picture. Epstein never sold business plans. He sold status. You pack a dinner table with Nobel Prize brains, you sprinkle in a former president, and all of a sudden, every billionaire in the room, they want your phone number.
Going to the dinner parties where you would meet academics, politicians, people from the United Nations. I mean, it was a cosmopolitan group of US eminence.
You know, I had dinners with him.
You cannot be a blackmail artist if people know that you're a blackmail artist.
He clearly understood social engineering. He understood that rich people, they can get anything they want, except the one thing they can't easily control is their reputation.
One such guest bought into it completely. Les Wexner, the retail titan behind Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works. Big guy. Epstein sold himself as a money whisperer, and Wexner, he signed power of attorney paperwork, handing Epstein's legal control of all of his assets. Figure that out. Wexner's checkbook opened doors. A $40 million Manhattan mansion. Gulfstream's on standby, and most importantly, it brought him credibility. When a Fortune 500 owner vouches for you, doors don't just open, they stay open. But why would Wexner, a guy famous for basically micromanaging panty colors, hand the castle keys to a newcomer like Epstein? Journalist Nick Bryant, somebody I interviewed, he dug up one answer: blackmail.
Les Wexner was definitely being blackmailed by Jeffrey Epstein. And Les Wexner is a billionaire, and actually in 1987, he gave Epstein the keys to his kingdom, power of attorney over his billions. Wexner was heavily hooked up to the Genovese crime family. A guy named Frank Walsh, who had a trucking company, did a lot of the hauling for Wexner's various clothing lines. And he was definitely a Genovese guy. Jeffrey Epstein by himself couldn't blackmail someone like Les Wexner, who has connections to the Genovese crime family. Whoever the blackmail mark has to know, if you touch Jeffrey Epstein, there's going to be retribution. That's the only way that Jeffrey Epstein could blackmail some of the most powerful people not only in the country, but in the world.
Private investigators allege that Epstein filmed an affair between Wexner and a model, and then he leveraged it for lifelong control over Wexner. Wexner denies it, but the documents, they show he never ever took the power of attorney back from Epstein. The bottom line, Epstein wasn't pushing spreadsheets. He was trading access. Anyone who accepted the invitation, he gained prestige for a night, and he became leverage for a lifetime.
Rich people can get sex.
웩스너는 억만장자였습니다. 마피아와 연결된 인물이었죠. 앱스타인 혼자서 그를 협박할 수 있었을까요?
Now we get to 2006. That should have been really the end for him. Palm Beach police, they deliver a 53-page probable cause dossier to the FBI. Sworn victim interviews, phone logs, even trash can DNA. Instead, what do the feds do? Federal prosecutors under Alex Acosta, they strike a non-prosecution agreement. Whoever heard of that? Epstein pleads to state charges, serves 13 months in a county wing with daily work release. Even a guy for bookmaking gets more time than that. The deal also grants immunity to any potential co-conspirators, whether they were known or unknown. Years later, Acosta tells Trump's vetting team it was told that Epstein belonged to intelligence. We were told to back off.
Alex Acosta, he was the Epstein prosecutor in the initial case where Epstein was, given a wrist slap and let off. And he was asked by the press, well, why didn't you go harder on Epstein? Why did you let him go? He said, I was told to back off Epstein because he belonged to intelligence. The fact is Epstein has been running through these CIA networks for 40 years, but there's also all the international networks. He belonged to intelligence meant just U.S. intelligence, although they're absolutely was US intelligence, but there could also be a role of Israeli intelligence. There could be a role of UK British intelligence. There could be a role of Saudi intelligence because he was working with Adnan Khashoggi in Saudi Arabia, appeared to have deep ties to the royal family in the UK, and of course appears to have links to many aspects of Israeli intelligence.
In 2002, Vanity Fair writer Vicky Ward, she turned in a profile naming whistleblowers Maria and Annie Farmer. Editor Grayton Carter removed the allegations after a private meeting with Epstein. Why? What happened in that meeting? Security staff, they told NPR and New York Magazine that a severed cat's head and a bullet were later found at Carter's home. Where's the Godfather? Don Corleone, a severed cat's head, not a horse head, but a cat's head. Do you believe this? Yet Carter still denies intimidation, not intimidated by a severed cat's head. Internal compliance memos, they show that Deutsche Bank classified Epstein as a, quote, high risk in 2015 after spotting millions routed through offshore entities. Regulars say the bank kept the account open until mid-2018, closing it only after the Miami Herald expose. When local police, a national newspaper, and a global bank all hit the same tripwire, and each time somebody cuts the fuse, that isn't luck. Something's going on. It's infrastructure. Somebody kept moving the safety net to wherever Jeffrey Epstein fell.
경찰도, 언론도, 은행도 매번 막혔습니다. 이건 운이 아니라 인프라입니다.
Tens of thousands of hours of Epstein and his people having sex with underage children. Where are I want arrests. I want those people. Kill himself, that's okay. We're not stupid. We know what happened. If they say he killed himself, whatever. Maybe they gave him an ultimatum, Adam. Maybe they're like, hey, listen, we're going to shut the cameras off. You at least better do it or else it's going to be hell or high water for you. So maybe, I don't know. I don't care at this point. I want the customers.
Where are the tapes? Why is everyone talking about the flight logs and the files? Where are the tapes? This guy was clearly taping people to blackmail them.
The FBI agents, they removed dozens of CDs and hard drives from Epstein's Manhattan townhouse 3 weeks earlier, each labeled with a name and a date.
The FBI drilled Epstein's safe after he was arrested, and they took out anywhere from hundreds to thousands of DVDs.
And we know they did that, and yet no one is asking for the tapes.
Defense lawyers in Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, they confirmed none of that video entered into evidence. Why not? Why not? My friends, that's textbook misdirection. You focus the country on a bedsheet knot so no one else asks who controls the compromise. Until the perpetrators on those drives are brought to justice, suicide versus murder is a side quest. The main plot is who just lost and who now controls the leverage of a lifetime.
자살이냐, 타살이냐, 그게 핵심이 아닙니다. 진짜 질문은 따로 있습니다. 그 테이프, 지금 누구 손에 있을까요?
But the hard drives the feds pulled from the townhouse, they're not gone. Whoever sits on that archive can still tug a senator's vote. It can nudge a tech billionaire's merger, maybe whisper in a judge's ear, who knows? Until those tapes surface, every powerful name on the Epstein list, and there is a list, is just one phone call away from cooperating. So no, we don't finish with a tidy answer. We finish with a to-do list. Follow the postmortem money, his estate, the trust, the odd wire transfers that kept surfacing, each one is a breadcrumb. Unseal the drives. Congress actually has the power to demand them. Why are they not demanding them? Public pressure, that's the fuel to make them try. We got to keep the pressure on. And watch the pattern. When you spot another overnight success, mysterious wealth, instant VIP access, legal problems that just melt away, ring the alarm, my friends, before they start wiring chandeliers with cameras, because the next Epstein, he's already auditioning, unless we find out who held the door open the first time.